Yes.
Where's the spotlight?
Okay, so I live in a society where conscience comes second to propriety and where a corporation's name can be cleared of blame and no one feels shame. I live in a society where star athletes reach notoriety and nobody knows the farmers that grow their food. How did we lose touch with something as basic as food? Asking where it's from is considered rude. Somewhere down the line it's been misconstrued and now everyone is a stranger to food. And I have been raised in a grocery store, raised on anything organic costs $10 more, and at 15 years of age, I went out of this cage bound by the gas gauge and an hourly wage. Because according to history, according to lore, there are serious consequences to closing the door between farmer and consumer. But wait, there's more. Middlemen, and middlemen for the middlemen, and men so far into the middle that they can't see either end, and everyone takes their dividend. So if this is farming, this is agriculture, corporate, gas-filled and run by vultures, what happens to us? And by us, I mean the small collection of planners, hopers, and dreamers who consider it good manners to come to the table with dirt under our nails, wind in our sails, and wagging our tails. On a day when I'd rather cultivate herbs than conjugate verbs, feed the hens than calculate dividends, play in the compost, for it is my utmost fear to lose my roots in the earth. Why? The answer is plain. Without monetary gain and with minimal pain and copious rain, it's contentment I gain from growing my own food. And if this morning I planted a tomato seed and watered it, by night it will need to be cut down, for there are mouths to feed that will never be filled by corporate greed. And if we all run back to our jobs in the rat race and nature is reduced to mandatory green space, who will feed us when the old farmers die? Now, a long time ago, medicine mostly left you dead, until a pretty wise guy named Hippocrates said, let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. We've got the first part done. Antibiotics have begun to change the way we run because somewhere, someone fed them to their animals instead of just taking care of them. Meanwhile, all the smart bacteria are evolving in your school cafeteria, salmonella and listeria resistant to the bug killers that we sprayed on the plants that the cow ate before we drank the cow's milk. Then we get a stomachache, and it's fast tracks we make to the drugstore and we take pills. Little capsules that just can't compare to clean food and fresh air, but we first world kids don't care. And when I try to make sure everyone knows that we're poisoning ourselves with food no person grows, the answer that I get is just don't step on toes. Well, just how comfortable do you think you're going to be with sewage from feedlots as far as the eye can see when you can't take a breath without a small fee and you're killing yourself, but at least your choice is free? So, no, I'm not going to go home and forget what I see, eat a pre-wrapped cookie and watch some TV, because if there's one thing I've learned from my entry in this race, standing on a big blue rock floating in space, it's that if I don't say something, nobody will, and we'll keep stuffing ourselves with enough chemicals to kill a small child, and the nutritional value is nil. And as for forcing my opinion on people, here's what I'll say. Sitting on my butt won't keep problems at bay. We all need to stand up. Let's do it today. We can make the difference. We will lead the way.